heard on the radio that Pearl Harbor had been attacked.
I don't remember it affecting me so much. I think I was still kind of young. But I remember where it was. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and I went home with a girlfriend from church, and we were at her house late that day, and somebody had heard it on the radio and come to us. I don't remember who came and told us, but that was the first time it was. Well, I guess it was sad. I just know there was a lot of going on. The very next day at school, President Roosevelt gave us the talk to the nation. Well, I remember that real well.
It wasn't used to be jumped onto like that. It was a lot bigger deal to us than 9/11 was. There was more people killed and more damage done over
there. I can remember people coming by and gathering up tin cans and trash, any kind of junk that could go to the war effort. They'd come by and get it. When we first moved to India, he and I weren't used to rationing. That was kind of hard. You know what to spend your stamps for and what it really was. But we managed. We ate a lot of fried potatoes and stuff. It was hard. But everybody was doing it, so it didn't. And you know, your shoes were rationed during the day and all that good stuff. Gas was rationed. Of course, we didn't have anything to drive. Mom and Dad did it. Back then, they, coast down a hill and save on your gas, you know, turn your motor on, coast down. And we did that. I don't know whether it helped or not, but we thought it did.
Me and Arthur as my cousin and Charlie Keeler as a friend decided we'd just join. They told us if we would volunteer, they would get our choice of the service. So we chose the Air Force because we thought it would be a little easier than in the infantry. We went in to be mechanics, airplane mechanics. But when we got there, well, they'd done what they wanted to with us, you know. And I wound up in the post office department. Arthur and Charlie wound up in the ground force, and we joined in Oklahoma City. And then when they sent us to camp, they sent us to Fort Sill. And I remember riding a bus from Oklahoma City to Fort Sill and going through Blanchard over there, and I was getting pretty close to home, and I'd like to get off my home. But I think, boy, I've sure made a mistake, you know, getting in this thing. We got to Fort Sill, and they lined us up out there, and we were smoking cigarettes, and they chewed us out about that and made us throw the cigarettes down. From then on, they was the boss. Spent some time at Fort Sill, and from there we went to Enid for basic training.
I had met him earlier when I was younger, but then after work, coming along with Bonnie and I were good friends, and he was in the service, and she sent him my address, and he wrote me, and he sent me a Valentine. First thing, didn't know me, it was so cute. I was supposed to still have that Valentine, and then we just started getting. Of course, we couldn't get together very often. It'd have to be on Saturday when we could go to town, and his family could come to town, and he'd be home from the base, and we'd meet down there. We were romanced to the veil, and I think that's the way when we got married. He asked me in the mail. Philip had to go get the marriage license and all this stuff so we could get married at that date we'd picked.
We got our basic training there. They sent us from there to to North Dakota to help with the wheat harvest. They didn't have any people up there to harvest the wheat. Well, I guess that was in the spring of 43, summer of 43. And we got that done, and they brought us back to Enid again. And then they shipped us from there back to Independence, Kansas for some more basic training. And we done lots of hiking up there in Kansas, and oh, it's hot up there. You just start walking, you know, and we had those, I guess my shoes didn't fit, but 4 blisters on my feet, so you go ahead and break the blisters and just keep walking. Can you imagine that's how that would hurt, you know? So we spent some time there, and then from there we went back to Enid again. That's when they shipped us, started scattering us out different places to go overseas. So I sent me from there to Underwood, North Dakota. Let's see, Underwood. No, that's where I done the wheat harvest. It was in Manchester, New Hampshire. But I got there, and that's when I told them that I hadn't had my furlough. The rest of them said they had furloughs, you know, before they went overseas. And I said, wait a minute, I didn't get one. They said, well, we'll give you one right now. So they sent me home for 2 weeks, and I spent most of that time on a train.
In the summer of 44, he left to go overseas. I can remember he was home. I had already had to go home, and then he was home on furlough. And that's where he's going to have to really leave for good. And we went to Chickasha to get a bus and had to stay all night to wait on the bus the next morning. And we were parked on, we was going to stay on the streets, you know, in our car, wait until whatever time the next day. And the police came, and they made us leave town, get out of town. Went out east of Chickasha and parked on the side of the road and waited till time to go back in. And he could leave on the bus. I can't imagine doing a service in that way, but they did. When he got on the bus, they took me out to Mom and Dad's and everything. I walked in the door and they were eating dinner. I looked at Mama, and Mama looked at me, and she just took me in her arms, and that was hard. I didn't go after he left, and I didn't go immediately. I stayed at home with Mom and Dad, and in January, Mother had to have surgery, and then after she got over the surgery, then I went up there and worked at her apartment. I shared with Joan, and Joan's my sister. I did what they call chased parts. You have these little, I don't remember what they're called, little buggy-like things you call it, and you'd go different places on the base and get parts they'd order. So you go there and get parts, but you get to ride down the road that way, and that was fun to us.
Now, when they sent me back to Manchester, the rest of them had already left. So they said, well, we're going to send you back the other way. So they stuck me on a train and sent me all the way back to Seattle, Washington. That's as far as you can get the northwest side of the United States. Now I shipped out from there and went to the Hawaiian Islands. Spent about 6 months there, I guess. The closest we went to combat was we saw lots of wounded soldiers coming back from the Saipan, back in there where they was fighting at that time, Iwo Jima. And we shipped mail by the pound, you know, 100-pound pallets of mail. And we had to gauge what we shipped by the amount of weight that was on that airplane. And if it was loaded with wounded soldiers going back towards the States, and we couldn't ship mail, so we held up a lot of mail waiting on room to ship it, you know. From there, we went on to Guam. It was 31 days on the boat between Guam and the highway at Ollis and Guam. And we got out there to an island that Adiwitya was the name of it. And we had to lay over there for a week on that island because at Guam the snipers were shooting the people when they went off the boat. So for safety reasons, they kept us there for a week, and then they shipped us on down there. We carried our rifles all that time, and when we got there that day, they told us to turn our rifles in and said you don't need them anymore. We've got this place guarded with our own guards now. So we turned our rifles in, and then I spent I think the next 12 months there, and then the war was over. And I was ready. Then they said finally it was over, and they was going to let us, some of us come home, so we started signing up to come home. And they said you can either go on a boat or a regular deal, or if you catch an airplane that it's not loaded, you can get on an airplane. So I had a friend that worked over at the hangar, you know, and he said, I'll call you whenever there's an opening. And one night he come over there and said, get ready. He said, get over there. I said, I think I've got an opening for you. Well, I got my bags packed. I already had part of them packed, you know. Went over there to the hangar and said, well, I got on that airplane. First time I ever got on. Oh, I never thought I'd ride an airplane. But I was going home.
Joe and I went to a church in Oklahoma City, and I don't even remember the name of it now. But it was a little church, and that night we heard from him that he was coming home. We were getting ready to go to church when the phone rang. That's the only phone call I ever had from him, I think, because he was calling from San Francisco. He was in, and I guess we just had hysterics for a minute because we weren't looking for him to come.
I think I was 18 when I went in. That's just the kids, you know. I kind of felt like I was a man to come out, you know.